20 Dumbest Criminals, according to Reddit. Number 20. So I'm sitting in the station doing paperwork and I'm looking out the window, and a few yards away is a bus stop. A young lad is smashing the glass of the bus stop as a way of showing off to a couple of girls. So I sigh, walk about 20 yards over to him and arrest him. Another time, a lad had just broken into a pharmacy and stolen some drugs, sleeping tablets, which he started to take, maybe to hide the evidence. Who knows how these people's minds work. There's a foot chase, which gets slower and slower and slower, and I end up just walking slowly up behind him. The guy fell asleep while I was booking him. Number 19. Not a cop, but I've got a pretty good story. Once when I went to a grocery store, there were a few officers inside, getting statements from one of the staff. Apparently some guy had dropped a gallon-sized Ziploc bag of crack on the floor while he was walking out. Staff members noticed it right away and called the police. Right before the guy came back into the store demanding that staff return his crack, he was still arguing and threatening them when the police actually arrived. I'd make a joke about crack, but I'm pretty sure YouTube would get it really mad about it, you know what I mean? We're not supposed to acknowledge things that exist that are bad. Number 18, not a cop, but I worked at a 7-Eleven in a rough part of Chicago. I had two guys come in and ask for 2 bottles of Grey Goose. If you don't get that reference, it's not even really a reference at all. What a world. I asked for their identification and they handed them over, and I grabbed the 2 bottles from behind the counter to ring them up. They proceeded to grab the bottles and book it out of there, leaving their identification on the counter. I called the police. They came in asking for the description of the thieves, and I handed them the identification. The cops were in disbelief at the stupidity. They left, went to the address on the IDs. It was about 2 blocks away. And about 15 minutes later, they walk in with the 2 guys and the bottles of Grey Goose. Poor guys didn't even get the chance to open them. Oh my God. I confirmed that it was them, didn't press charges, and took the bottles of Grey Goose back and went on with my overnight shift. You know, they should have made an example out of these little bastards. You know what I'm saying? Probably embarrass them on the internet, something like that. Make them have to go out with Brie Larson. I went there. Okay? Fuck her. As we continue up this list, we arrive at number 17. Wow. XLEO here. So, who refers to themselves as a law enforcement officer? Wait a, let's not get into it, man. These cops, they don't have a lot else to hang on to. So I get a call a couple of years ago to a lady who was saying that she is being threatened, okay? I wonder if any cops are listening in their squad car right now. Hey, go give somebody a ticket for me. I'm kidding. I saw a cop on the way by a stop sign, and I was thinking to myself, you did on some toast. Somebody subscribe to me in my darkest hour, in my darkest time. Thank you, Dayanfer. Dayanfer. I bow to you, my liege. You know what? I'm actually surprised that it wasn't Prelude that like I kind of like anxiety ticked into the stream chat to make sure it wasn't Prelude that gifted that, because he's done that 22 times. What a madman. So XLEO here, I got a call a couple of years ago from a lady who was saying that she was being threatened. I responded to a very rural area, and she shows me her cell phone, and it is a chain mail text message from an unknown number. Holy crap. If she doesn't send this to at least 5 people right now, she's gonna die at 2 a.m. The message showed a picture of a girl with a gag in her mouth. She's looking at the camera and holding a sign with both hands that said, "Help." Man, this is scarier than any creepypasta I've read on some fuckboys channel. The text of the message stated that she was in Amsterdam, and if she didn't forward the text to 10 people, and look what happened to her, okay? I explained to the lady that it was a hoax and explained that what a chainmail message was. She refused to believe me and became argumentative. She also told me some hot tips that she got about the earth being flat. When I offered to contact Interpol for her, she did not know what that was and said she needed to be with her children whom she does not vaccinate. That wasn't good enough. She just kept saying that the girl needed help. I asked her if she knew the girl, and she said no, and she believed the girl tried to send her messages using like any made-up numbers that she could instead of contacting anybody that she knew. My reasoning was once again shot down, and she said again that the girl needed her help. I remember driving away and the lady screaming at me that I needed to help that girl. I responded with a single no over my PA as I quickly sped away. Oh man, both of those women were never heard from again. Now forward this to 10 people. Hey, listen, if you're watching this video, I know you're not liking, I know you're not subscribing, but the least you could do is forward it to 10 people, or your balls will fall off. See, I risk YouTube coming for me saying stuff like that. No jokes allowed on this platform. So if you laughed, it better have been like ironic. Or if anybody asks you what you're laughing at, you say, oh, I just remembered something. All right. You got to watch each other's background here. Number 16, not me, but my buddy is a cop and told me about this one kid in particular that he dealt with for years. No cleverness to him. Numerous times he walked into his neighborhood's garage in broad daylight and just stole his bike. What? What you mean stole his bike? Oh, he walked into his neighbor's garage in broad daylight and stole the neighbor's bike. That's fucked up. Constantly stole from stores in plain view, even the occasional minor assault or burglary. He always got caught and had never gotten away with any of his hundreds of crimes, but because he was a minor, there were never really any repercussions. A few days before he turned 18, my friend and another officer went to his house to basically remind him that if he does anything after the age of 18, he will face real punishment as an adult and he'll get 0 breaks. Like a last-ditch effort to be helpful. 2 days after his 18th birthday, he's caught committing an armed robbery. Pretty sure he's doing a few decades behind bars. Stupid as the stupid does, and I'm sure the first thing he'll do if he gets out of here is kill again. My name is Morgan Freeman, and the first thing I do if I get out of jail is kill again. I'm kidding. I don't even remember what Morgan Freeman sounds like now. Number 15. I'm not a cop myself, but about 20 years ago, minus 10, I got held up and robbed by a group of 50 guys, minus 47. They all had knives too, okay? All they wanted was my money in my wallet. So me being the super smart, not wanting to mess with knives guys, just obliged. At the end of the ordeal, he put the knife to my throat and said, "If you ever tell the cops my name is redacted, I will slice your throat right now." Ha ha! He told him his actual name. So I went home, called the cops, told them where it happened, and gave the name that the guy told me. The name instantly rung a bell with them since the guy had come into contact the police in the past. Or had come in contact with the police in the past. Cops went to the spot where I was robbed, and they were laying in an ambush for a new guy to appear at the same spot. Goddamn. They could instantly identify the guy he was, arrested, and that's about it. This happened in the Netherlands. I don't know if they sentence or anything. That's kind of sad when, you know, it's over in Bing Bong Land, so some people apparently just get away with their vicious crimes because what are we gonna do? Charge them? This is America. Number 14. I went to a domestic violence call where a woman claimed her husband hit her. I did not. When I asked her how it happened, she told me he couldn't provide the kind of life that she wanted him to give her. She stated that since he had a heart attack and got lupus, he wasn't working, so she decided she should start inviting some friends over to have sex with her for money. Mind you, she's telling me, a fully uniformed officer, all of this. She says he should act as the person who handles the money for her, like a pimp. She then calls someone to come over and tells her husband that after she gets paid for the sex, he should hold the guy at knife point and take the rest of his money. She said he refused to help her with this, so they got into an argument. He pushed past her to get out of the apartment. She claimed that was the assault she called me for. "Here I am, officer." I asked her if she understood that she just admitted to planning a felony crime. She looked shocked that planning a prostitution and robbery was wrong at all. "It's my body, my rules. It's a man's world," and did not get why I wasn't arrested or arresting her husband for trying to remove himself from her stupid plan. Okay. Okay. Number 13. That stupid hurt me. Number 13, we had an inmate that would constantly call Crime Stoppers on his contraband cell phone and try to get them to give him the reward if he confessed to his crimes. He did this several times a month. Nice. Okay. Number 12. Two young men in a pickup truck on a back road stopped a I think they were banging in the car. Or not a car because they're Amish, so in the buggy. They're horse and buggy. So, two young men in a pickup truck on a back road stopped a courting Amish couple in a buggy and told the couple to give them all their money. Spoiler, the Amish don't generally have money. They do have good memories though, and told the cops the license plate number. The inept criminals were locals too, and should have known better than to try and rob with the Amish. Guys, I'm supposed to have one-liners, but I can't think of a rhyme for Amish. So you guys are, this is your interaction of the day, okay? I'm gonna throw out the phrase, if you mess with the Amish, you get the, and then you come up with the last line of that. I can't wait to see which is the worst one. You get points for if it's actually good or if it's like actually terrible. So, you know, try to give Stripes a run for her money in the terrible department, because whatever she says, skirmish, yeah, that's pretty bad, Stripes. You mess with the Amish, you get the skirmish. What? Fucking time. Number 11. Teen gets fired from Red Lobster, returns to rob the same restaurant the same night. They refuse to give him money from the register, so he grabs the charity coin box. Okay. Then he leaves by bicycle. I go to find him and see the coins scattered about and follow the trail of the same, which leads me to him hiding in a bush at a church. The bicycle was leaning up against the bush that he was in. Well. Zakor the Lit God says Harmish. You mess with the Armish, you will come to harm-ish. Terrible. I have to say Amish like Armish. What the hell is that? Yeah, you see how hard my jab is, guys? God damn. As we home in on the final 10 of this entry, it reads, I went to a job of two males attempting to break into a car. Job description said that they had been at it for at least an hour. Really? I guess that's stupid, boy. That's some hardcore doo-doo stupid. I mean, you try, can you imagine like y'all go to a bank and y'all trying to rob it and y'all in there for like an hour while some guy's just like, just give me a minute, I'm gonna have it open. Like, what? I got there and the car was theirs. Nice. They had apparently just locked themselves out. Okay, well, what's the crime here? Checks confirmed it did belong to one of the person's moms. On their person was stolen mail and heaps of phones and new stuff in boxes. So they got arrested for theft anyway. That's funny. That's funny. And then he ends the post by saying, the only door that was locked was the driver's door, which is the only one they were trying, and all the other doors were unlocked for the entire time that they were there. For the entire time that they were there. Y'all got stolen shit and new phones and all kind of crap in your car. Wow, man. Number 19. Minus 10 on that ass. I can't go into much detail, but the kid was 14 years old and shot another kid who was 15 in the leg after a fight in their apartment. Oh, God. Don't do that to each other, kids. The victim is able to describe the gun and the shooter used in detail. We get shooter's name. Yeah, that's what it says. From another kid who knows him from skier. My partner looks up his Instagram, and would you believe it? There he is posing with the gun described to us exactly. Well, thank you, buddy. Thanks, social media. Huzzah. Number 8. My dad is a cop, and I remember that he called me one night and said that he wanted to tell me how glad he was that I'm not as stupid as the guy he arrested that night. An idiot high schooler was caught stealing alcohol after his fake ID was rejected. His fake ID said that he was born in 2001, 3 years younger than he actually was. Younger? The poor guy couldn't work out why his ID didn't work. My dad recommended that he pay better attention in math class. Oh no. Number 7. Every day I see a big black SUV with sheriff written on it, and it's parked in the driveway across the street. I don't know if the guy is the sheriff or works for the sheriff, but one night I wake up to a dozen sirens outside. Turns out some idiot tried breaking into the sheriff dude's house while he was home, and his vehicle was right freaking there. Wow, dude. One would imagine if you breaking into somebody's house, you doing something in the way of a stakeout, and if he's got a car that says sheriff, maybe he couldn't read. That's what the comments have got to say. The comments have got to say. Somebody writes, there must be something good in that house. I bet no one's tried to break into that house because the sheriff's truck is parked outside, and no one is as smart as me to realize that the sheriff lives at the police station, and this is a trick to stop less smart people from breaking in. I are smart. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Hey, the stream chat slowed down. I'm gonna go ahead and clear all of that so that it's just me. Yeah, there's a message for everybody watching this after the fact on YouTube. Yeah, that's what time it is. So, rolling up to number 6. Took a vehicle burglary report where the victim found a driver's license sitting on her driver's seat that the suspect must have left behind. It seems damning, but if he had any criminal smarts, he would just say his license was stolen, and the thief must have dropped it while breaking into his new victim's vehicle. Without any other evidence, the case would have gone nowhere. The next day, I take the report to a church that was a couple of blocks away from the vehicle burglary. This guy stole the video cameras from the building. He must have thought the footage came with the camera, because when we checked the video, there was a high definition close-up of the suspect's face as he removed the camera. Good evidence, sure, but I still don't know who the guy was until I looked at the license I collected the day prior and saw it was the same exact guy. What is Stripes posting in my glorious chat? That sign can't stop me because I can't read. Dora Winfred. As we continue up to number 5. My ex stole a car and went to pick up his friend at the police station in the stolen car. He parked right in front of a cop. The cop ran the plates and escorted him into the building. Next day, he was on the news as the stupidest criminal in town. There he is, the stupidest criminal in our town. In all the universe, there's no one as stupid as you. Number 4. My mom's cousin was a bank robber. The time he got caught, he went into a bank, scoped the place out, left to go back to his bike. This motherfucker robbed banks on a bike. And he put his mask on, robbed the bank. Police see the tape, see that the bank robber was wearing the same exact clothes as the guy who left less than a minute before, and that was that. Oh, well. He then edited his post to say, by bike, I mean bicycle. What? When you know you're dealing with people that aren't from America. I don't understand. What is back? That's not cool, Kyle. That's not very, you know, that's really Brie Larson of you. You need to be cooler than that. Don't be a Brie Larson, guys. Okay? Reel it in. Number 3. I knew a guy who got busted selling weed. He went to his hearing at court and went through the metal detector. He had an Altoid tin full of ecstasy pills in his pocket. It set off the metal detector. Sheriff's deputies searched him, found the pills, and arrested him on the spot. You know when you're going to a hearing and you have drugs on you that you don't think to take off, that, you know, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. Number 2. I'm a 911 dispatcher in Florida. Oh, snap. Listen the fuck up, kids. Sometimes confused or drunk people knock on the wrong door to try to get into a house thinking it's theirs, but it isn't. It's an honest mistake. But the homeowner is rightfully very afraid, thinking that they are about to be robbed or worse. Well, I had this kid, must have been in his early 20s, and clearly he's stoned out of his mind. Called me going absolutely crazy that someone is trying to kill him and take his property and rape his girlfriend, blah, 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 blah. I send units code 3 to this guy's house, thinking it's a burglary in progress. Turns out the guy ordered a pizza and forgot about it. Scared the delivery guy half to death. What kind of delivery man staying when he knocking on your door trying to give you pizza long enough for police to show up after you call? You know? I don't believe it. I'm supposed to believe this. Number 1. Old roommate was/is a cop. He came home to tell me an ATM was robbed for $15,000. The next day, the man who robbed the ATM deposited $15,000, the exact amount, into his personal account at the bank that he robbed the night prior. It's like people don't learn. You gotta stay off the grid. Okay? Non-sequential bills, bitch. You gotta spread that around to people. Somebody said, I don't believe you, GIF. Okay. Well, there's that list. I love you all. Thank you to all of you for being here. Special thanks to my Twitch subs that grows by the day. That list is no longer relevant. I gotta make a new list, you guys. You guys hitting me in a way I gotta make a new list. Jeez. I want to thank my YouTube sponsors. That's a very exclusive list over there of YouTube sponsors. You can't even be a sponsor on YouTube anymore. My God. And to the patrons, of course. Probably gonna need a new list there. Love ya, need ya, want ya. Look out for me. Do what you need to do. Thank you for your help. Thank you for your support. And I'll see you on the Twitch, because that's where all of this goes down. Nowhere else.